As we continue to be without basketball, it feels like it's been forever since we watched the NBA Finals, but right now NBA players are working on their craft to become better players and potentially dethrone the Goliaths known as the Golden State Warriors. But here in this video, we're going to be talking about one player in particular, and that is Kawhi Leonard, who is working out with LeBron James and Kevin Durant, and I'm going to tell you the reason why I think that is. And we also have a story talking about Manu Ginobili. Could he be retiring from playing basketball?
LeBron James all the way in.
Here comes Simmons the other way, 3-on-2. Simmons eludes the defender and lays it in with that. Certainly the length altered that shot. Not a big window. Steps.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Bernie here, bringing you yet another video here in the charge, giving the latest NBA news and rumors and also basketball opinions. And before we get started on to today's video, talking about Kawhi Leonard and Manu Ginobili, go and hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Also, go and check out our awesome NBA content. We have videos, of course, talking about our famous Fixer Upper series, where we go each and every team of how we can, one, make them NBA Finals team if they're close, NBA contenders, or even just NBA playoff teams, which we will be doing this weekend with another team. But right now, like I said, we got to talk about this Kawhi Leonard story and Manu Ginobili story. The first one, of course, we'll talk about is the Kawhi Leonard story. And it's not really a story. It's more of he's been spotted at UCLA training with LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Cedi Osman, and a bunch of Toronto Raptors staff. And before we talk about Kawhi Leonard specifically, I just want to shout out Cedi Osman, who I think could potentially be most improved player of the year, because right now, I think he's getting a lot stronger and a lot better. And training with LeBron James, who kind of co-signed him as a very good player, I think that's very good for his career moving on forward. He's got 2 years left on his Cavalier deal, and I think he could get a lot of money, not only at the Cleveland Cavaliers, but maybe another team might try and offer something. But I think now that LeBron James is gone from the Cavaliers, and we'll probably do a fixer-upper on them later on sometime, but with him being now the starting small forward, I think it could potentially be a great move for Cedi Osman to get a lot of points, a lot of assists, a lot of rebounds. I think his numbers will go up to a point where we'll be like, wow, they had this on their bench and they didn't play him. That's what Cedi Osman just kind of gives me that vibe of someone who I think should be miles above where he is, but because, LeBron James was there at the starting position, it was hard for him to get minutes. But I think Tyronn Lue, if we're going to see his coaching ability now that LeBron James is gone, I think Cedi Osman will have an excellent season here on out. But let's go to the main topic, and that is, of course, Kawhi Leonard. And the reason why I think he's here, I think LeBron James reached out to Kawhi Leonard, in my opinion. This is all coming from what I think. I think LeBron James reached out to Kevin Durant and also Kawhi Leonard to come train with him, and then have Cedi Osman as kind of I wouldn't say a sacrificial piece, but maybe like a pawn in his game. The only reason why I think that is because LeBron James is rumored to be wanting either Kevin Durant or Kawhi Leonard to come with him to play in LA. And it's also rumored that Kawhi Leonard is also preferred to sign with the Lakers or Clippers, of course, according to Adrian Wojnarowski from ESPN. So I think because of that, I think the reason why those two were brought there is for LeBron James to see which teammate he would like to play with more. Does he like to play with the shot creator in Kevin Durant? Does he like to play with the two-way player in Kawhi Leonard? And I think this is the perfect time for LeBron James to kind of meet up with both of them. Kind of a player tampering, which I don't know what the league thinks about that. I understand that around the sports, especially in soccer or football, that's known in Europe, and basketball, player tampering isn't really that big of a deal. But it's interesting to see that they can kind of talk to each other. But I think LeBron James reached out to both of them and say like, hey, if you were to play with me, this is how I would play, or like, hey, let's work out together. So LeBron James is really doing this as he's right now, as Colin Cowherd would like to call it, he's in his mogul stage. So I think if he is, quote unquote, in his mogul stage, he's not looking to kind of carry the load on his back. Obviously, like I said, I think Brandon Ingram in my fixer-upper will be a superstar because I think he will average that 22 points per game. But bringing in another one, you can only bring in one, and I think it's either Kawhi Leonard or Kevin Durant. And the question is, who does LeBron James like more, similar to suit to his play style? And I'm pretty sure LeBron James was like, hey, Kawhi, this is how, if you were with me in LA, this is how I would, help you get better and all this other stuff. And I think also adding the Toronto Raptors staff there is just to keep people away from what I think it is. I know this is kind of like conspiracy theory type of deal, but it's fun to see that Kawhi Leonard is looking healthy and much better. I think that because he's out there balling out, I think that he's healthy enough to really contribute to the Toronto Raptors next season, whether, the Toronto Raptors are a 2nd to 4th seed or whether they're going to be battling out with the Boston Celtics and the 76ers. It'll be interesting to see how Kawhi Leonard really evolves his game, because right now we're kind of questioning, is the thigh injury going to be a big deal? I think there's a lot of us not questioning whether Kawhi Leonard can get back up to that level, but can he get above that level, which was, of course, an MVP of the league. But this is also, like I said, a time for LeBron James to test out who does he like playing with better, and maybe in a couple of years he can also get Cedi Osman on his team like I talked about at the beginning. But that's just my opinion of it. What do you guys think of my conspiracy or opinion of why LeBron James trained with both Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard? Is it crazy? Is it outlandish? Or do you think that it's somewhat in the right realm of direction with LeBron James wanting to test out and see which teammate he would like better on the LA Lakers? Now, the next story we got to move on to is, of course, Manu Ginobili, who is considering retirement. And this is, of course, coming from Adrian Wojnarowski, a Woj bomb. So you know that this is very factual information. It's not, I mean, you could probably take it with a little bit of grain of salt, but Adrian Wojnarowski is a very excellent reporter. And this is what the article goes on to say. Manu Ginobili is seriously considering retirement, though he has yet to make it a final decision. Ginobili will meet with Greg Popovich in the coming days. Ginobili has been working out regularly at the Spurs practice facility in preparation of the season. Ginobili has played for the San Antonio Spurs since 2002 and is under contract for the 18-19 season at $2.5 million. I think as much as he was an instigator to me, as much as he was annoying to me, when you look back at his career, he was a really good player. And I think Manu Ginobili doesn't get the respect he deserves. I know we call it the Manu step with the Euro step. But I think, like I said, I think he's one of the probably the most underrated players. And it's because his numbers didn't really pan out to show like how good he really actually was, because I'm sure if he was on a different team he would have really great numbers. But I think because he was on the Spurs, he was quiet, he wasn't really as outlandish as I think a lot of us would like to see sometimes for some players. Manu Ginobili to me is a guy that will be respected in the league. I know that I kind of had my grievances with him when I was younger, but like I said, when you think about things and put things into perspective, he was a really good player. As much as he liked to flop, as much as he liked to instigate, he's still a great player and was a very good defender back in his day. Right now, not so much. He's a kind of a sixth man that comes off the bench. And I think he kind of revitalized that sixth man off the bench type of role, especially, you know, as he got a little bit older. And I think he made it his own. I think he's the reason why you got guys like Jamal Crawford and Lou Will to get that sixth man that could, you know, score off the bench and become a great scorer. And I think Manu Ginobili was kind of the guy that I kind of, in recent time, think of was a great sixth man that really should have been a starter. But if he does retire, it's going to be a sad moment, because watching him when I was a kid to now where he's going to be an old man, it's kind of the same thing I'm going to feel like, you know, if Dwayne Wade retires or if LeBron James or Carmelo retires. It's just going to feel weird thinking about it, because I've seen these guys grow up since I was a kid. So it's weird going to see them kind of retire and move on to the next generation where potentially their kids could be playing in the NBA. So that'll be cool to see. But what do you guys think of Manu Ginobili? Do you guys think that he's an underrated player, or do you guys think that he was just a flopper and no one really cared about him? I would love to know your guys' opinion on this story. But anyway, guys, this has been your boy Bernie here on The Charge, giving the latest NBA news and rumors and also basketball opinions, which we talked about with the Kawhi Leonard story, but also with the Manu Ginobili story as well. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Go and check out our other content that we have out here, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.